Okay, hello friends. SYBC, TYBC, Inorganic Chemistry. The topic number 3. Already I have sent the notes to you in PDF form. So I can again explain the main points of Werner theory. So first point is that the Werner in 1893 explained the formation of cobalt, iron and platinum compounds. He awarded the Nobel in 1913. Actually, Werner considered some postulates, and based on the postulate, Werner explained the cobalt, platinum and the iron compound, how those are formed. So I explain the postulates. The postulates of Werner theory. There are 5 postulates are there. Postulate number 1 is that the metal shows 2 types of valencies as primary and secondary valency. Primary valency is also known as the ionizable valency. It is nothing but the oxidation state of the metal ion present in complex. While secondary valencies, the primary and secondary valencies are there. Primary valency is also known as ionizable valency or oxidation state. Secondary valency is known as non-ionizable valency, and it is nothing but the coordination number of metal ion present in the complex. Second point is that each metal has fixed number of secondary valencies known as the coordination number, which is nothing but the number of ligands attached to the central metal atom or the ion. Postulate number 3 is that the primary valencies are satisfied by negative ion, while secondary valency may be satisfied by either negative ion or neutral molecule also. Postulate number 4 is that the secondary valencies are directed in phase around the central metal atom or ion, and that's why the coordination compound show the phenomenon of isomerism. Postulate number 5 is that the combining power of metal is divided into 2 spheres of attraction as inner sphere and the outer sphere. The inner sphere is called as coordination sphere and outer sphere is called as the ionization sphere. So these are the postulates, and based on it, Werner explained the formulas of the cobalt third complexes. Then explanation of primary and secondary valency. Explanation of primary and secondary valencies. Explanation of primary and secondary valencies are there. So actually, Werner considered the compound of cobalt as COCl3 6NH3. So Werner is considered its structural formula as, so solid line or dark line attached with NH3, so it is a secondary valency there. It is secondary valency is there, and by dotted line 3 chlorine are attached to cobalt, so it is shown by the primary valency. So generally here you remember that the solid line or dark line and dotted line. Dark line means it is a secondary valency and dotted line means it is a primary valency there. So primary valency is 3, secondary valency is 6. So cobalt or 6 ammonia molecules are linked to cobalt by secondary valency shown by dark line, and 3 chlorine ions are attached to cobalt. by primary valency, it can be shown by these three dotted line. Then Werner considers the series of cobalt third complexes as COCl3 6NH3. So it is a formula, structural formula. Then COCl3 5NH3, it is second compound. So I can write down like this. Okay, COCl3 6NH3, then COCl3 5NH3, COCl3 4NH3, and COCl3, it will be the 3NH3. So these are the series of compounds of cobalt third. Now I do explain or illustrate the primary and secondary valencies. To illustrate or explain the primary and secondary valency, the two criteria are used. One is chemical test, second one will be the physical test. So first I can explain the chemical test. So the aqueous solution of COCl cobalt complexes is treated with excess of silver nitrate solution. So we get the formation of the precipitate. Then it is observed that Werner, how experiment is performed? The Werner filtered the precipitate, dried it and wetted, and depending upon the weight of precipitate, he concluded that how many molecules of silver chloride get precipitated. So he observed that in first COCl3 6NH3, 3 silver chloride molecules are precipitated. In second case, 2 silver chloride molecules get the precipitated. In third, 1 molecule of silver chloride get precipitated. And in fourth, there is no precipitation occurs. Based on this observation, Werner concluded that in complex number 1, 3 chlorine are ionizable. In complex number 2 or in compound number 2, 1 chlorine have lost its ionizable character and get coordinated to cobalt. So that's why only 2 molecules of silver chloride get precipitated. In third case, out of 3 chlorine, 2 chlorine are coordinated and only 1 chlorine is ionizable. So we get 1 molecule of silver chloride. In fourth compound, Werner observed that all 3 chlorine are coordinated to cobalt, and that's why there will be no precipitate occurred. Means actually if you consider cobalt, the secondary valence is fixed and that will be the 6. Secondary valence is fixed and that will be the 6. So here 6 ammonia attached with the cobalt. It can exhibit the secondary valency. Now here out of 1 chlorine, 2 chlorine are ionizable, but 1 chlorine can exhibit primary as well as secondary valency. In second, 2 chlorine exhibit primary as well as secondary valency, and that's why the secondary valency becomes 6. And third and fourth compound, all 3 chlorine exhibit primary as well as secondary valency. That's why those are not ionizable, will not get the precipitate of silver chloride. So it is a illustration, means 6 is the secondary valency, 3 is the primary valency, here 2 is the primary valency, here 1 is the primary valency, 0 is the primary valency. Because here 1, 2 and 3 chlorine have lost its ionizable character and get coordinated. So we can draw the structure of this particular compound. So it is a first complex compound. It is a COCl3 6NH3, then COCl3 5NH3. So the cobalt is there, So one chlorine have lost its ionizable character and get coordinated. So it is the NH3, 5 NH3s are there. So these are the 5 NH3 and these are the chlorine 2 ionizable. The next will be COCl3, 4 NH3. Chlorine, it is a NH3, it is a chlorine, NH3, it is NH3. So here, solid as well as dark line is shown, means chlorine exhibit primary as well as secondary valence. And third will be COCl3, 3 NH3. So it is a cobalt. So all 3 chlorine have lose its primary ionizable character and get coordinated to cobalt. So it is a particular compound. So it is a chemical test. How many Cl minus ion get precipitated? Depending upon that, Werner explained the primary and secondary valency. Okay, here 1 chlorine, 2 chlorine, 3 chlorine have lost their ionizable character and get coordinated to cobalt. Get coordinated to cobalt, and that's why here 1 molecule, 2 molecule and here 2 molecules get precipitated. Here 1 molecule get precipitated, and here silver chloride precipitate is not formed. So it is actually the illustration or the explanation of primary and secondary valency. We have to consider cobalt third complex, and based on that we have to explain it. Actually the objective question is asked. Draw the primary and secondary valency structure. They give the one chemical formula, and based on that you should be able to explain, you should be able to draw by solid line and by dotted line the primary and secondary valencies. Then there is another test. Actually in some coordination compounds, group may satisfy both types of valencies, but in every case the fulfillment of coordination number of metal appears to be essential. So in all these compounds the coordination number of cobalt is 6, and that's why here 5 NH3 are there and 3 chlorine are there. So 1 chlorine have lost its ionizable character and get coordinated. That's why coordination number is 6. So it is a particular case. One more example I can consider here. Actually, if we consider this particular example, COCl3, 6 NH3, 3 NH3. So COCl3 and it will be 3 NH3. You can write down it as COCl3, 3 NH3 3 times, like this also. So it not get ionized because it not contain any ionizable group. That's why you remember that again question is asked on this point also. If all complex is shown, neutral complex is shown in square bracket, negative ion, neutral ligand, and the metal ion is shown, then it not get ionizable. Not ionizable, and that's why it is called as non-electrolyte. It is called as non-electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte and non-electrolyte. If the ions are there, it can conduct the conductivity. Then it is called as electrolyte. Means ionization should take place. Then only it conducts the conductivity. Another example I consider platinum, Pt NH3 2 times Cl2. It is also neutral complex. It did not get ionized. So it is also the non-electrolyte. It is also the non-electrolyte. So it is a particular case, means whether it is electrolyte or non-electrolyte, we can also explain based on the primary and the secondary valency. So it is a first point is postulates of Werner theory. Second point is the illustration of primary and secondary valency. Third point is the assignment of group into first coordinations pair. First coordinations pair means in square bracket. So I consider the complex Werner formula. Then molar conductance. So first test is chemical test to explain the primary secondary valence. Second test is the physical test where conductance of the solutions are measured. The unit here number of ions per ohm inverse then mole inverse. Okay, mole inverse and number of ions. Numbers of ions indicated by that particular solution. Moles per liter ohm inverse liter inverse and mole inverse. So first compound considered to be platinum. So Pt NH3 6 times Cl4. Second will be Pt NH3 5 Cl3. The next compound will be the Pt NH3 4 times Cl2 outside the bracket Cl2. Pt NH3 3 times Cl3 again Cl. Then Pt NH3 4 times Cl2. 2 times and here Cl4 is there. Then K2 PtCl6. Then CONH3 6Cl3. Then CONH3 5Cl2. Then CONH3 4Cl2Cl. Then CONH3 3 times Cl3. So these are the series of compounds I have shown on the blackboard: platinum and platinum 4 and cobalt 3. Now the molar conductance measured by experiment for these compounds are 523. It is a 404. Then it is 228. It is 97. It has 0. It has 256. Then 108. K into K2 PtCl6 K2 PtCl6 256. Then NH3 it is roughly for cobalt. It is a for last will be 0. It is 99. It was somewhat 98, and it is 246. These values are like this. My point is that we have to explain the number of ions. So here it is ionizable. So complex ion and 4-chlorine ion So 5 ions are there. That's why high value of conductivity. One complex ion, 3 chlorine ion, so 4 ions are there. One complex ion, 2 chlorine, so 3 ions are there. Here 2 ions are there. Here 0 ions are there. Here 3 ions are there. Here 4 are there. Here 3 are there. Here 2 are there. And here 0 ions are there. Means it is observed. Number if more ions are there, means complex ion and additional radical, then it has high value of conductivity. But if we observe this particular case, means PtNa32Cl4, there is no any ionizable ions are there. That's why it not conduct electricity. Therefore, it is called as the non-electrolyte. Means, based on this particular point, we should be able to explain the number of ions. If more number of ions are there, then definitely it has high value of conductivity. And if less number of ions are there, it has less value of conductivity. But if no number of ions are absent, then it is non-electrolyte. Then we have to consider one more point, the geometrical and optical isomerism. Geometrical and optical isomerism in 4 and 6 coordination number compounds. Actually, if we consider neutral platinum second complex as PtNH3 4 times 2 times Cl2. It is a neutral platinum second complex. Werner conclude that dichlorodiamine, I think we are expert to give the name, dichlorodiamine platinum second complex. Werner conclude that it has the cis and trans isomer. So I can draw the cis isomer. It is a chlorine, Na3, it is also Na3, cis isomer. Same ligand are on the same side. You can also draw, it is a cis isomer. It is trans isomer. It is a platinum, it is a chlorine, it is NH3, it is NH3. So, in neutral platinum second complex, cis and trans isomers are possible. And it has square planar structure. It never have tetrahedral structure because in tetrahedral geometry, all 4 sides are equivalent. So you cannot distinguish which side is opposite and which side is on the opposite side or same side. So, and that's why Werner conclude that the neutral platinum second complex have specifically the square planar structure. It never exhibit tetrahedral structure because in tetrahedral geometry all 4 sides are equivalent. So we cannot distinguish whether the groups are placed on the same side or whether the groups are placed on the opposite side. Then I consider the octahedral complex. One octahedral complex. In octahedral complex or 6 coordinated compound complex, 6 coordination number is 6. So generally the geometry is the octahedral. I consider the example of CONH3 4 times CONH3 4 times Cl2 outside the bracket again the Cl. means a dichloro tetraamine cobalt third chloride. So it can show the cis and trans isomer. So if we consider the geometry, it is a position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chlorine, chlorine, it is NH3, it is also NH3, NH3, it is also NH3. It is also called as cis isomer, or it is a 1, 2. Similar groups are present at 1 and 2 side. We can draw its trans isomer also. At the center, cobalt is there. Chlorine, chlorine, NH3, 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 NH3. It is called as trans or 1,6 isomer. Position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6. So cis isomer or trans isomer, it is also called as 1,2 isomer or 1,6 isomer. Actually, when coordination number is 6, the probable geometry expected may be hexagonal, trigonal prism and octahedral. Again, Werner concludes that based on the observed isomer, when coordination number is 6, the geometry is always octahedral geometry. Then Werner was able to prepare the complex of the type MAA3. A means it is a symmetrical bidentate ligand. Werner is able to prepare the complex of the type MAA3. We can consider the example of this particular complex as cobalt, okay, CrOX3 having -3 charge. A is symmetrical bidentate ligand. Point of attachment is same. Oxalato means it can be shown as OO, here OX. Again, same ligands are there. So here also we can show optical isomerism. So if we draw this particular structure, it is a cobalt, chromium is there, it is a O. If you take its mirror image, cobalt O. So it is a particular structure. So first and second are optically active isomers, and a completely inorganic optically active complex will be CO into bracket OH twice into bracket CONH3 3 times is there. So it is a point, and based on this particular topic, questions are asked. First question, give the main postulates of Werner theory. Second question is that illustrate the primary and secondary valency with the help of suitable example. Third postulate is that explain PTNA32Cl to have square planar geometry. Fourth question is that PTNA32Cl4 or PTNA32Cl2 is non-electrolyte. It not get ionized, so it is a non-electrolyte. Sometimes they give complex and they can ask, explain the how many primary valencies are present and secondary valencies are present. So it is your third topic. Already I have sent you PDF of this particular theory. So for both classes SY and TYBS, you remember that. So I have sent you the PDF of topic first, topic second, topic third. You take a separate notebook, and in that notebook you write down that theory first. For MOT, then introduction to Werner coordination theory, coordination compound, third will be the Werner theory. You first write down the theory in separate notebook. Then on each topic, I have given the questions. So you write down that question, we get answer in that theory also. Because I think I give my own explanation to teach actually in the front of student molecular orbital theory. Near about 20 to 25 lectures are expected with notes. But online in video lecture, I have completed that only 6 or 7 lectures. So my opinion is that you ask any time my own phone number or you message me, I give the answer. One more point is that you first write down the theory and then in separate notebook you write down the questions and answer. So okay, for Monday I can start the 4th topic, that is isomerism in coordination complexes. Okay, thank you.